I had to go change that shirt because it kept just. Let's move on. Anyways, I feel better like this. All right, spiritual warfare, right? So psychological warfare. It begins in the mind, and you can experience it from anybody, but usually it'll be the closest people to you. So with me, my experience was with the closest people to me, with the people that were supposed to raise me, and family titles and all that good stuff. And so the way that I experienced it was that the things that I had done in my adult life were the things that they used to keep me stuck, right? So I would feel, it started with me, so I would feel shame for when I was in active addiction, right? And I try to hide it from a lot of people, but usually after we go through recovery and stuff, we realize that we're not hiding it from anybody, that we're just like tricking ourselves, and that these people know what's going on. They just could care less that you're doing it. But then the moment that you decide to heal and do something different with your life, this is when they have a problem, right? So they'll use that. For me, one of my constants that was used against me was my beauty. So I didn't see my beauty or my worth until I removed myself from these people. But this was one thing that was always used against me. I was always called like the ugly one or the out of place one. And I felt that way, right? I felt that way. And so when they said it, it only kept me at a lower vibration. And for a lot of people, this is not going to be something that, they deal with. Like, some girls are hot and they're beautiful and they know it and they use it for their advantage and all that good stuff, or they don't. But for me, I just believed it. I believed that I wasn't pretty. I believed that I didn't have value in me because of all the things that I had endured, that had been done to me, and then the things that I did on top of it. So it was like a two-way street situation to like put me down. They put me down, and then I did it to myself at the same time, which also led me to, like, as I healed and also, yeah, as I healed, it also led me to see that, sometimes when things are done to us, we go ahead and we do it to other people, and sometimes we do it to ourselves, and that's a way to give ourselves grace, especially when it's like unfortunate situations where, as a something tragic happened to us, and then we went ahead and we exercise the same thing onto another person. It doesn't mean that, we're right to do it, but when we look at it from that perspective, it gives us a little bit more understanding of why people behave the certain way, the way that they do. So for me, I was stuck on that, and one of the things that I realized, right, as I'm evolving and moving along and stuff, is that a lot of these things, I allow them and I inflict it on myself. But then I didn't have any discernment, right? I was walking around with no discernment, which is why it's important that we have discernment. But other people will be able to relate to this because not everybody is walking around without discernment, and not everybody has, a karmic family that's doing witchcraft on you since the day you're born. So if you can identify with, like, going through things at a younger age or even now, and not seeing your self-worth and not seeing your value or not having confidence, you can change that. You can change that by just working on yourself and purifying yourself. Like the same way, like if you were being spiritually attacked, whether you're being spiritually attacked or not, you could go ahead and just, like, remove everybody that no longer serves you. Start focusing on yourself, building yourself up by, like, building your confidence. One of the things that I had to do was go ahead and keep my house clean. Keeping my house clean, keeping my car clean, going to the gym, and, like, little by little doing those things. Eventually, like, those little tiny things helped me so much. Like, not leaving dishes in the sink. Believe it or not, like, with 3 kids, I would still do that. And it wasn't until I started to have my awakening that I started to, like, do those little tiny things that eventually added up to, like, better things. So now it's like automatic, like, my kitchen's clean, the house is clean, right? I go to the gym all the time. Children are in order. The children were never a problem. I always, like, took care of the kids, but, like, when it came to me and like keeping my space clean and all that good stuff, especially like when you're going through spiritual warfare, you have to keep the house clean. It's a must. It's not an option. Because these entities like dirty spaces. So in order for you to combat the spiritual warfare, for them to not come into the house and all that good stuff, it has to be clean. Lavender sage usually works. It's really good. Plus, it smells nice. So, where were we? Psychological warfare. Yes. So, with the psychological warfare, those are, like, just examples for you of what that is, right? And sometimes we do it to ourselves because we go ahead and we say, oh my God, so much has happened, so much has been done, who's going to want me? Or sometimes it's so difficult to even speak out the words and say them that it sounds like a movie sometimes, right? And we're like, I'm not going to say all of that. What the hell? And then, like, with my case, I have to say all of it. And then there's so much more that when it's all over, I'm going to make a movie. When it's all said and done, I will, like, do something with all of that. But one of the best things for me is to speak about it, because it heals me. And 2, there's other people out there that have gone through similar things and even worse things than myself. And they've made it, right? So, speaking about it, writing about it, doing things for yourself, caring for yourself, that helps out. That helps with that. And so the cleaner your mind is, the more difficult it is for the spiritual warfare to happen, because they attack your mind, right? They have to debilitate your mind in order for that to work. And so, like, next week we're going to speak about, like, the types of spiritual warfare, like why they do these things, but it's so much. But I only speak about the things that I've gone through. But these niggas, these people threw the whole toilet sink. Like, they threw everything. So I'm very diverse in it, and I could speak about it, and it also helps me heal when I speak about it. So, all right, I'll keep posting later.